Okay, what we're going to do right now is simplify the expression. Okay, we have minus 18x squared b to the 8th 6a to the 6th b negative 7 to the 3rd power. Okay, what we're first going to do is simplify this here. Bring the it's not an x, it's a. And let me see how that looks. God. Okay. Okay, bring this up. This is a negative 3. 6 goes to 18 3 times. Bring the a down because you got an a over here and an a over here. And when you bring an exponent down, you subtract. So it's a to the 4th. Now bring this up, and that becomes b to the 15th power. Because 8 and 7 is 15. Or the minus 7 you bring up, and you make that a 15. To the 3rd power. So now what you got to do is you got to raise the 3 to the 3rd power. That becomes 27. B 15 times 3 is 45. A to the 12th. And that's your answer. Okay, next problem is use the given conditions to write for a line in the point slope form and the slope intercept form, passing through 6, 7. So this is the x and this is the y. And perpendicular to the line whose equation is y equals 1/3 x plus 3. Now, the equation is y1 y2 and just y m x minus x1. Now you want to find the slope. And the slope means how much of an incline there is. On this equation here, slope equals the change of x, change of y. Also, it could be a change of y, change of x. Doesn't make a difference. Now, in here, when you ever have an equation like this here, this is the slope, 1/3. But they want to know the line that's perpendicular. And perpendicular is written like this over here. Perpendicular means here's a line, here's a right triangle. This line here is perpendicular, or this line here is perpendicular. These two lines are perpendicular. They form a 90-degree angle. When you have something like that, it's y. What you got to do is you find the reciprocal of this fraction. The reciprocal of the fraction means you just change it. You make the denominator, the numerator, denominator, numerator. You just change it. And it becomes a negative. So it's x, here's x, minus 6. And that's your, it's, and that's your equation. So now it's y equals minus 3x over plus 18. And there's your slope-intercept form right there. The next problem is solve the inequality and graph the solution set on a number line. Okay, 20. Let me write this completely down. Okay, this reads 2x divided by 3 is greater than or equal to minus 20. 2x minus 22 is less than minus 16. Okay, first thing we got to do is you take this here and bring it to both sides of the equation. So that's 2x 3, so that's 22 plus 22, 16 minus 16, that gives you a plus 6. So 2 plus 6 minus 20 and minus a plus 22, and that gives you a plus 2. So let me rewrite this here now. 2x 3 greater than, right there, plus 2 plus 6. Now, take this here and multiply. So now you have 2x is greater than 6 and this becomes 18. Divide each side by 2. You have now x equals, no, not x equals, it's x less than or greater than 3. And 2 goes 18 9 times, so that's less than 9. And this is, how you graph it. Here's 9. Here's less than. There's 3. So it's less than 9 to 3. And there's your graph. X plus 17 equals 35. This is the greater value. So first you get rid of this here. 9x minus 7. Now bring this equals, now make this a plus. So 37, 35 minus 17, that's 35 minus 17, that's 8. That's 18. So 9x minus 7 is plus 18. 9x, now subtract a plus 7 equals 25. X equals 25 over 9. That's your problem over there. Now, the next step is 9x, well, you just have to recopy everything, minus 7 equals, now instead of a plus 18, make that a negative 18. X equals, that's the same thing, excuse me. It's 9x equals minus 35 minus 17. Add that up. 35 17, both minuses, 12, 52, minus 52, divide each side by 9, and you get x equals minus 52 divided by 9. Alright, factor by grouping. Five x squared minus 20 x y plus 3x y minus 12 y squared. All right, so here, take a group out of here and a group out of here. All right, so that's 5x, that is x. 5 goes to 24 times, the x cancels out, you get a y. Plus, this here factors out, and the y factors out. So you have x, again, same thing, as over here, minus 4y. So your final answer is 5x plus 3y, x minus 4y. That's your final answer. All right, here we go. Two 16 minus x to the fourth. Factor using the formula for the sum or differences of two cubes. All right, so what number multiplied 3 times will be 16? Let me get my calculator out. All right, I got my calculator. All right, I think it's 6. 6 to the third power. Right, 6 to the third power. So, get an x out of here. So now you make this 216 minus x to the third. Six minus x to the third. Now, this equals a minus b to the third. This is your standard formula. Is a minus b a plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, try to remember this here by the signs. Remember this expression, S-O-A-P. p. So, always, the sign is always the same. The sign is opposite, always positive. So now you have x, 6 minus x, 6 square plus 12x plus 8, and this becomes there we go. Now, 2x x plus 7 minus Alright. Here we have, what we gotta do, we gotta find the least common denominator. So what we do over here is x plus 7, x minus 7. That's your least common denominator. So, you have x plus 7, so over here multiply by x minus 7. Here, x plus 7. And that gets rid of your denominators. So that's 2x squared minus 14x minus 14x. Now 14 times 7, 14 times 7, that's 28, that's 98. But make that a negative 98. Equals 2x squared plus 98. Alright, so the x squared is canceled out. So now you have minus 14x, 98 times 2. When you bring this over, and the sign becomes the same. 16,196. Okay, 196 equals 0. Now, see if that can factor out. No, so that, gonna leave that as it is right now. All right, here we go. F of x equals 9 minus 3x. That equals, get rid of this here and just put down 9 minus 3x equals 0. Minus 3x equals minus 9. X equals 3. So your answer is, the domain is negative infinity to 3. And to graph that, this is the graph. Zero, here's 3, and that's the graph. All right, so here on this problem here, you have to rationalize the denominator and simplify it if possible. So to rationalize the denominator, you got to multiply everything by the conjugate or the opposite. Now, when you multiply this by this, you get rid of the square root. So it becomes 2 plus or minus 1, you multiply that, becomes 2 minus 1, which is the same thing as 1. Now this becomes minus 9. And there's your answer. Now you can just, don't even have to have that, you get rid of this here too. 4x minus 12 plus 3. All right, so get your minus 3 over here. Four x minus 12. Now, square root this, square root this. When you do that, this becomes 9. And this becomes, your square root becomes eliminated. So you have 4x minus 12, 4x 21, 21 over 4 equals x. And there's your answer. Put 5 minus 6i (5) plus 4i. Divide and simplify to the form of a plus b I. All right. So what you got to do is you got to multiply. To get rid of this here, you got to multiply everything by 5 minus 4i. 5 minus 4i. All right, so now FOIL.